Hello to you. I'm Jesse Johnson. This is what's slowly making Islam weaker and weaker. What's hurting Islam and slowly killing or bringing Islam closer to ruin. While it seems to be winning, it is not winning. Please share this video and subscribe. Islam is the most poisonous belief system ever produced by humans. Not Nazism, not communism, but Islam. This video will be in 2 parts. Please watch and listen to both. 9 reasons will be given for Islam's slow but constant weakening. 5 reasons in part 1 and 4 reasons in part 2. In 1,405 years, Muslims have had a world war against the whole of humanity. World war, its true form. Well, now, we'll start with the first reason. Internal conflict amongst Muslims themselves. Muslims against Muslims, in other words. Muslims have splintered into many factions and large deranged sects or denominations, about 74 sects worldwide, deadly to each other, antagonistic divisions, killing each other because each one do not consider the others Muslim enough or false Muslims. This internal conflict, which has always been part of Islam for about 1,300 years or so, has spread and intensified in the present. If they didn't have the Jews as a common enemy, it would be worse between them. In other words, Islam, Muslims, is internally tearing itself apart. The second reason is the internet or World Wide Web. The web or the internet or simply the net floods the world itself with information on everything known to humans. This includes Islam and the whole of Muslimdom, past to present. Both Muslims and non-Muslims upload and download info on utterly every single facet of Islam. This produces annulment of Islam's philosophical defenses. All Muslims and non-Muslims have access to this information. And because of this, every Muslim and want to be Muslim can now know what all imams and scholars have been hiding from them. This information flood on everything on Islam automatically produces education of the ignorant and apostasy or the leaving of Islam because of the information infiltration of the Islamic world. Apostasy and education is slowly spreading, letting Muslims and non-Muslims see sharply and clearly the world genocidal and extreme immoral grounds that Islam truly stand for. The third reason is poverty. There are 12 universal institutions of humanity. When these institutions are all in negative social form, every form of human poverty is produced. The 12 universal institutions of humanity are, in alphabetical order, art, economics, education, family, law, medical, mass media, political, poverty, religion, science, and spiritual. Each one of these produces its own form of poverty, from lack, L-A-C-K, from lack of creative and inventive artistic poverty, all the way to spiritual poverty. Islam, or Muslims, suffers heavily in all 12 universal institutions of our kind, and therefore are drowning in their own blood. And the ideology and poisonous social philosophy politically of Islam is in fact structured to directly produce poverty in all 12 universal forms. Islam is the greatest producers of psychological, social, and spiritual poverty. The purpose of Islam, and if Islam wins, if it wins, the whole of humanity will be in poverty several times deeper than it is now. The purpose of Islam is to turn the whole world into a single poverty land purposefully. The fourth reason Islam is becoming weaker is non-acceptance of Islam by non-Muslims. Because of Muslims' physical and psychological violence against everybody and every culture, and the Islamic agenda to eliminate every non-Muslim culture and language except Arabic on earth and impose Sharia law worldwide, it becomes impossible to accept Islam. The highest authority in Islam is the Quran. The Quran is a book manual for conquering others. It is a manual for real and relentless total genocide against the whole of humanity for not believing in Allah. In other words, the Quran, 9th chapter, 29th verse states, quote unquote, "Make war against all such as those who believe not in Allah and the last days," quote unquote. Now, Allah is a moon god with 3 daughters that Muslims have tried to erase. And the forced submission to the most poisonous laws on earth, literally, which is Sharia law. The 5th reason for Islam's ruin is economic decay. No matter what Islamic country looked at, except the oil-rich, such as Saudi Arabia, Qatar, etc., every Muslim country is always struggling economically. This is no accident. This is part of the very core of Islam. Its very core is based on slavery, pedophile child rape, oppression of women, sanctioned, accepted rape against women, anti-education, anti-every culture on earth, refusal to maintain infrastructure of their own countries, extreme violence, and anti-economic creativity, and all places Muslims go to, economic doom happens if Muslims come into power in those countries, living off of other people's economic good while out relentlessly to destroy them and their economic system, and turn it into an Islamic country wasteland. Now, this has been the first 5 reasons. The other 4 reasons will start at number 6 reason in part 2. And I want everyone to please share this video and subscribe, and have a very good day.